So about a year ago, I did a series of videos going over some fragrances that were being discontinued. And I've touched on this before in passing in some of my other videos, but this is kind of just the life cycle and the evolution of men's fragrances and women's fragrances in general, whether it's designer, niche, clones, indie, things just get discontinued. That's all part of it. When you look at the ever expanding popularity of flankers, they can only produce so many and have so many moving parts within a line before they eventually have to start weeding out some of the older, lesser performing versions to make room for some newer, potentially better performing in terms of sales volume, new fragrances. And it's not even always just that. Sometimes it's due to the ever restricting IFRA regulations that these brands are battling constantly, or maybe ingredients just become unavailable altogether and they can no longer create the scent and have it smell the way that it's intended to be smelled. So there's a lot of reasons that go into it. Of course, a reason could just be that it flat out isn't selling at all and so they discontinue it. But you'll find with some of these that we're going to be going over today that doesn't seem to be the case. So today, we're going to be trying to figure out what's going on with these popular fragrances here. I've just got a few of them we're going to cover. There's probably more out there. If you have some questions on one of your favorite scents that is doing some weird stuff, maybe sold out of stock, maybe being discontinued, drop them down below and I'll try to cover those as well. But I figured it would be time to bring this series back because you guys really seemed to like it when I was doing those videos last year. And it seemed like last year they were discontinuing stuff left and right. So expect to see more videos like this here soon, maybe, as I kind of do some more research and see what's going on with some other stuff. But let's focus on these today. And I also want to tell you that right now you can actually buy all of these. Okay, you can get these. They're in stock right now. However, some weird things have been going on. And if you're asking, why should you listen to me? What do I know? Well, every day I search all of the discounters front to back looking for the best deals, rare fragrances, great sales, etc. And so I have a mailing list and a texting list you can sign up to and all of that stuff. I have a very strong understanding of the market and the prices and what's normal and what's not. And so I'll go over each of these and tell you what's going on. Actually, we're going to start off with Azzaro Wanted by Night. So there have been some issues with this one for some time now, mainly being that you just couldn't get it anywhere. You couldn't buy it at retailers, you couldn't buy it at discounters. There was a point where some 50 mls would come into stock and you could buy those, but they're more expensive and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense at that price point. But 100 mils were completely sold out all over the place. And it begs the question, why? Because this is a very popular scent. It's loved by many in the community and outside of the community. And so when you start digging into it, okay, you can go to Azzaro's official website and they have a landing page for Wanted by Night. And you go to that landing page and then they give you 4 options. 2 links will take you to Ulta. 1 link will take you to Amazon and 1 will take you to Macy's. When you view all of those links, Ulta, it says page not found. Macy's, it says this is unavailable right now. Amazon says it is unavailable right now. So Azzaro, their official website anyway, here in the US, does not sell directly to consumer. Instead, they just shuffle you off to the retailers and Amazon and say, okay, here's some luck trying to buy this product at one of these websites. Okay, they don't sell direct to consumer. They just do all their work through retailers, I suppose. And so when you can't get this one from Azzaro's official website or any of those retailers, something doesn't add up. This one is actually in stock, 100 ml bottles on discounters right now for a great price. I highly recommend picking this one up while you can. When it is in stock at retail, it's $80+ for 100 ml. It's about $20 less than that right now. It goes fast, it comes and goes. But it's been weird. It's been hard to get this one recently, and it doesn't make sense. You wouldn't think they would discontinue this one because it seems to be a very good seller, but maybe that's what's going on. Maybe there's other reasons behind it. Maybe it's supply chain issues. Who knows? I'm not here to, lay out the facts because none of us are going to know the facts. But yeah, weird stuff has been going on with this. And I'll toss this in here really quickly as well as kind of an aside. You may ask, why don't you reach out to these brands and ask? Well, that's something I've done in the past in those other videos. And you'll find oftentimes they don't know. They don't comprehend the question appropriately. Or maybe they just tell you the wrong information altogether, whether intentionally or not. A lot of times you just cannot get a straight answer from these brands, and it just doesn't even necessarily make good use of time to try to get your questions answered, because a lot of these customer service representatives have no idea at all. They're just there to help you with your order if it gets lost, and they don't know what's going on. So you can try reaching out, and if you do and you have success, let me know down below, but a lot of times it's like talking to a blank wall. This next one that's been a little bit weird is the One Royal Night. So believe it or not, there was a point where this was the most affordable exclusive edition of Dolce & Gabbana The One. There was a point where you could get this for $60, 100 milliliters, full presentation. Mysterious Night was always a bit more than that. Of course, Luminous Night was even more than that. And even the original The One Eau de Parfum, the non-exclusive edition, falls right around the same price, you know, $60, maybe $65 for 100 mil. This was in line with that original one at one point in time. And I love this. It's one of my favorite flankers because it improves the lacking performance of Dolce & Gabbana The One. Now, they do take out the tobacco here, but it's still very heavy and rich on the amber, the sandalwood, the cardamom. It is a gorgeous creation. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's even more smooth and luxurious smelling than the original DNA, in my opinion. Great stuff. Recently, though, it's been out of stock everywhere. You name it, discounters, they don't have it. Well, now they do for a little while, but it sells out. And so it's one of those deals where you have to be watching for it. Testers will come up sometimes. The testers do come with a cap. Full presentation will come up sometimes. But again, it's usually going to be in lesser amounts and kind of infrequent. And so could it be supply chain issues that there's just less of it coming into the US right now, and so it's harder to get at discounters? Or could it be that they are getting rid of this one altogether? And the same thing has been going on with Luminous Night. Even though it was released a few years after this one, it pretty much immediately was something that was hard to come across. So if you're wanting Royal Night, be on the lookout for it or pick one up right now. A lot of these are fantastic for the upcoming cooler time of the year. All right, next up, I'm actually going to cover a clone, believe it or not. And really, the same exact thing happens with these clones, whether it be they're getting into some legal trouble because the presentation is very similar to that of what they're cloning, or who knows what else is going on, or maybe they're just discontinuing stuff anyway. Same thing can go on. This one, though, is a little bit interesting. It's Jean Lowe Immortal by Maison Alhambra. So this is quite the interesting case because it is not a clone of, you know, something to the magnitude of Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel or Aventus, something that is very popular. It's actually a clone of a Louis Vuitton scent. And, you know, in terms of fragrances within the fragrance world, that's not a huge name. They're not a Parfums de Marly or a Creed or a Guerlain or something. So to me, it's interesting that every time this one pops up, it sells like crazy. I mean, people are just going nuts for this stuff to the point where the discounters put a limit on it and say you can only buy 5 at one time. Yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize. You can't buy 10 bottles at once. You got to stick it to 5. It's crazy. But I do have to give credit where credit is due. This is a fantastic fragrance. It smells amazing. This one's got some grapefruit, ginger, bergamot, watery notes, sage, rosemary, geranium, ambroxan, amber, and labdanum. It has immense quality for about $35. Nice atomizer on it as well, magnetic cap, and it even looks similar to the bottle. Great grapefruit. It actually kind of smells a little bit like Bulgari Tiger, or at least the grapefruit component that's being used in Bulgari Tiger. Similar thing here. The floral component is nice. It's a little bit of a white floral kind of freshness, a little bit of a clean kind of aromatic, lavender mid, that type of deal kind of you're picking up on there. Even though I don't think there's lavender, I didn't read off, but the kind of geranium, sage feel, the aromatic package in the mid smells amazing. And a little bit of a bright, sparkling ambroxan in the base. And so this is the type of thing that is not frequently in stock. Again, it's hard to come by because it'll show up, it will move out like crazy, go sell really quick, and then it's just kind of hard to get again for a while. So I don't know, you know, where the hype for this originated. I don't know why each time this one pops up, it just flies off the shelves like crazy. But it does. And I don't know if there's something I'm missing. Maybe this one has been announced to be discontinued and they're not going to make it anymore. Maybe that's why people buy it up so quick. But yeah, it just goes like nuts. It's crazy. So if you want one, you can get it right now. And if you're looking for a fantastic, affordable, high quality spring and summertime scent, looking forward to next year, this is one you can go for. Even the bottle's nice thick glass, looks amazing. Doesn't look like clone presentation, which is a big bonus for a lot of people, myself included. Magnetic cap, cool stuff. And we're gonna circle back and end this video with a fall and winter scent. This one's very interesting as well. LALIQUE Ombre Noir. So I just recently found out about this a few months back. I did a video on it, standalone review, just going crazy about it because I love it. And again, it was something that I had just recently found out. I discovered this one in summertime, which is not the ideal time for it, but I got it. I ended up purchasing it from Fragrance By because they actually hit me up and said, hey, we're getting some of this stuff in. It's really good. Your audience might like it. So I said, cool. I checked it out. I bought it with my own money, believe it or not. And it was amazing. As soon as I smelled it, I absolutely loved it. It's myrrh, it's boozy, it's vanillic, it's sweet. There's a little bit of like a bay leaf note as well. It is such an incredible, unique scent. It's fantastic for the cooler times of the year, and I can't wait to finally be able to wear it when it cools off outside. You can tell this is just made for winter and especially probably the fall time. Nice cinnamon in here as well. Warm and spicy, smells great. And so anyway, discounters carry this usually around, I think it's $65 to maybe $75, somewhere in that range. So I was looking around online, and when I first got it, I wanted to see what the retail price was so I could see if I was getting a good deal, and I was. Now, I can't remember what the retail price is. I apologize. And I can't figure it out anymore because when I go to the official LALIQUE website, the landing page for this one says product cannot be found. It's just a typical dead page, like what happens with a lot of these, fragrances that get discontinued. They just pull the page completely. It's a dead end. And so what does that mean? There was a point where just a few months back, I was on their website. I could have bought it at full retail directly from them because I wanted to see what that retail price was, and I got a good deal on it. This is cheaper at discounters than it was at full retail. Maybe it was $100, I can't remember, but good savings. And now that page no longer exists, so it's not looking good. Again, this is one that's available in a couple different places right now. I'll drop them down below. You can get it for a great price. It's one that I highly recommend if you want to stand out and smell unique in the fall and winter time here coming up. It's sad to see this one go if it is being discontinued because it's really good. And this is the type of thing where those of you who are saying, we want something different, we want something unique from a designer, this is it. Like, this is them giving you something that is not cookie cutter and run of the mill. So scoop this one up if you want it. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for today. What's going on with these? I don't know. To be honest with you, it's not really looking good for any of them. With Azzaro, they're putting out a new wanted almost every year, it seems like. I would think that they would, discontinue tonic, and maybe they have already. There's just a ton of it still in circulation, and whatever. Maybe they're just going down the line. Maybe they're doing what they got to do. I don't know, but it is a shame. Again, all of these are actually available right now. I've been watching the market and they have all popped up. But again, weird stuff is going on with them and they're not guaranteed to stick around long. So pick them up while you can. They're all really good. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.